Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Good to see everybody in here. Hey, Brat, how you doing, sweetie? Good to see you. Much love to you too, girl. Much love to you. Brat, sending out the prayers to everybody. God bless. And oh, Mama Homestead, you number 2 in here tonight, girlfriend. Hold it. I gotta give Brat a clap. Number 1 in here tonight. Number 2, Mama Homestead. There you go. You guys, I am super tired. So bear with me, because I've got quite a bit to say tonight. And she says, hello, PG in chat. Hello to you. God bless. Much love. And Marla, there you are, girlfriend. Number three in here tonight. Good evening, PG and chat mods. Good evening to you, girlfriend. God bless and much love. And Carrie, you are number 4 in here tonight. All right. Hey, beautiful PG mods in chat. Good to see you all. Much love to you. God bless. All right, Deborah, how you doing? Miss Justice, 111. I knew I see you at the top there somewhere. God bless. Good to see you. Janet, how you doing, sweetie? Don't blame me tonight. If I be calling people once, twice, 3 times, it doesn't matter. Don't hold it against me. Like I said, PG is tired. I am super tired. One too many brownies and very much lack of sleep and working very hard. Carmenta, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm trying my best, girlfriend. Good evening, Summer's Army. Good evening to you. Good evening to you. God bless. Hey, Dawn, I see you, girl. And Lindsay, there you are. Angel, good to see you. Georgia Wildchild. I'm trying to get as many on the way down. Dee, how you doing, sweetie? Rhonda, there you are, girl. There's Linda. Lovely London. Oh, I love that. That is so beautiful. Hey, Jersey Devil, how you doing tonight, girlfriend? Brenda, might have called you before. I'm calling you again. All right. Hey, Lake, how you doing? Bridget, Anna. PG is super tired. I am. Oh, that is absolutely beautiful. That is beautiful, Miranda. That is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous, girl. I appreciate that. Oh, I appreciate that too. Brat. God bless you. Hey, Joy, how you doing, sweetie? Hey, Journey, how you doing? Good to see you tonight. If I didn't call you in, I'm calling you now. And Marianne, good to see you in here. God bless. Oh, I appreciate that. Grieving mama. She got prayers for everybody in here, for everyone. God bless. All right, purple hearts. Purple hearts for summer. God bless. Hey, Chris, good to see you in here tonight. It's good to be here again tonight. God bless. Much love to you. Good to see everybody coming in here. All right. Okay, you guys, I'm back. I had to some reason, I don't know why, but my office chair was moved away from my desk, and another chair was actually sitting at my desk. That tells me somebody has been in my office. But I'm so tired. I was just like, walked in, sitting in this other chair, and I'm thinking, something feels so uncomfortable. What's going on? I take note that my chair's moved somewhere else, and that chair has replaced it. I'm like, nah, that's it. That's the problem. Right. Hey, listen, you guys, I'm super slow tonight. For real. So hang in there. Because I'm about to take everybody for a ride. Now, first of all, Jinkies came out last night, right? You gotta kind of like her. I mean, right? You gotta kind of like her. But anyhow, she come out and talking about Don and Candace telling some secrets, right? Some things she had in Pandora's box while she opened it, right? And I mean, we already knew, you know, practically everything. We knew that they signed the kids over. I told everybody that a long time ago. They signed the kids away to avoid prosecution. And also, you know, we knew that they was, had abuse and gross, not like regular neglect, but gross neglect against them. And we also knew that they had endangerment charges, right? I didn't know. That Candace was involved in the essaying. I didn't know that. The 911 call pretty much, told everything on Donald. But I had no idea, that they was looking at her and Don Wells for essaying. So, whoa. That was big news, right? That was really some big news. And then we had me come out last night, and and you know how PG is, right? You know how I am. I got to bring it back to the table. Because somebody must have called PG a liar, right? Oh, PG, such a liar. I know. I don't lie at all. What did I lie about, Ziggy? What did I lie about? What have I lied about? I never lied about anything at all. Nothing. What have I lied about? Because I could tell you a hell of a lot you lied about, right? But I haven't got started yet. I'm just warming up. Right? PG is just now warming up on this whole situation. I tell you that right now. Listen, Ziggy. Nobody's lying about anything over here. We show receipts, baby. Something you don't do. You don't show receipts. You just flap your gums and show no receipts. Right? You just talk that talk. And honey, over here, we walk that walk. It's the difference between me and you. Right? That's the difference. We bring it. And you know, what upsetted you? Ziggy? Oh, was it all of this? Is it this that was upsetting you? The TBI is trying to figure out who was driving the dark blue GMC with dark tinted windows that was in the holla, that was on camera at 3:47. The camera was only got a side view. The tags wasn't on the camera. Is that bothering you? Is that lie that your old man told right there? Unless that was Chad Arnold's truck. Um, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. And even if, even if this particular truck, was inside the holler at, and say it wasn't Chad Arnold, say it wasn't, say it was just a random truck that was in the holler, which there wasn't, but let's say there was, to please and appease the liars over there. Let us please, appease them here. Listen, Ziggy, I want to let you know right now that even if it was, it has nothing to do with Summer. Summer didn't even come up missing till 5:55 to 6 o'clock. What freaking part of that do you and Fred not understand? And that's why I have a problem with people who, substance abusers. That's why I tell people to stay off, say no to illegal substances. Because, it when you do this kind of stuff, well, it doesn't make you think normal anymore, right? You like your brain? Your brain is very important to the body. It's as important to the body as every other organ a human has. And you shouldn't be doing anything to destroy it, right? To make it, to make it not think right anymore. And it's a known fact, like scientific fact, that it alters your thinking. It alters. That's why, that's why a lot of people just don't think normal. Because, they done too much. They done damaged their mental capacity. That's why I say, stay away from that stuff. Teach your children to stay away from it. Teach your grandkids. Teach them to say no. But you want them to stay healthy, keep them away from that stuff. But Ziggy, obviously you and Fred, I don't know what part of 3:55, 6 o'clock that you don't understand. But you're probably still sitting over there like, duh, right? That's probably what you're doing. And do you think that is who Candace was meeting up with when Chad seen her? I thought it was weird that Andy said Stoney was at Hayward Tires in a white van trying to sell young girls. No one is going to ask that unless you have already purchased before. Andy said it wasn't like that. He said it wasn't like that, but it probably was like that. It probably was. Absolutely. Anyway, Man, I'm telling you, I'm tired. I'm mother freaking. My goody good is biting back. All right, it's biting back. I hate that shit. But anyway, let me try to get through this, you guys. I'm working on it, honey. I'm working on it. I'm heading that way. But this is what Ziggy's mad about. This is what she's all, all geared up with. Unless you have already purchased before. I said, do you remember Donald said on Dr. Phil about, the SUV and stuff, a dark color. And Candace kept saying blue van. Seems like Fred and Don Wells concocted up a story about, some type of big truck or SUV that's going to be dark blue. These people, all of these people had their wires crossed. It's like that they met up. They was, they were throwing ideals at each other, right? About what they could say when all of this is said and done. And it all went freaking south. That's where it went. It went south because, they, all of them couldn't keep it straight. All of them couldn't keep it straight. Candace and Grandis just couldn't keep up with the program, and Don and, Fred's and Jody Sue's, and none of them could keep up with the program. And Jody Sue had the time off. Fred and Don pushing for the blue truck, but you had Grandis and Candace pushing for a blue van. They fucking knew the color blue. They always on the same page with blue. Ain't that funny? Boy, is that a coincidence? They're all on the same page with blue, but they ain't on the same page with the type of vehicle it was supposed to be. That just solidifies that these mother freakers were corresponding, working together to cover each other's asses. That's what it does. That's what all this tells me. And I bet you I'm right. That's what it's telling me. And then I said and he's like, hell no, they are 100% proof he was on Simpson's Lane at, the three, let's go back so we can all look at it, at the 3:30, 3:47 mark. No, he wasn't. Andy was at work. That's like bona fide right there. It's done been looked into, looked over, checked into, Andy was nowhere on Ben Hill Road that day. He knew better than to be on Ben Hill Road that day. If you ask me, that's my opinion. But where am I lying? Where am I lying? Ziggy, where is PG lying? A $7.99 super sticker. All right, girl. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Australia. God bless. I really do. Where am I lying? Somebody needs to tell me. They really can't put anything out because of investigation, but Summer will get her justice. All the cameras is past his place. No, the only camera is past his place going out to Beach Creek Road. Okay, Fred? The only camera was heading out to Beach Creek Road. The one and only camera you guys didn't anticipate on being there. That is the one that got everything. That's the one that it didn't get no blue trucks or SUVs coming in there, but it did pick up Chad Arnold coming in and Candace following him out from your place. Okay? And I wouldn't doubt if you and Laura wasn't in there with along with Chad Arnold and Cotton Simpson. I think Cotton wasn't expecting it but found out, and and you guys got worried about him. He became a liability, right? Like so many other people in this case. But where am I lying, Ziggy? Right here. This is mine and Fred's conversations. Oh, that's right. The ones you showed didn't have this, right? The ones you showed didn't tell about, Fred thinking, thinking about I can't wait till those mother effers go down, right? He was on 4 cameras. No, he wasn't on any but one if he came, and that's probably when he got off work. Um right here, you know, I know most people don't believe a lot of what I have been saying. No, they don't. They don't, because you lie too much. Um it's all going to come out. People need to ego to the side. People need to put their ego to the side. For Summer, she's the only victim. Then and then he talks about Jody Sue's son, getting leading Summer down to the road. He thought that Jody Sue's son let coach little Summer to the road. There's no way, because during the time you say that this boy supposedly coaches Summer, Summer was in the care of her mom and her grandmother. So that's bullshit. But right here, look, Fred, this is you and Ziggy. This is your comments right here. These are your comments and my comments. But you didn't see this on the comments at Ziggy's, because they picked and chose. Ziggy says, "Oh, PG probably just I put out the stuff, and she probably, yeah, you didn't put out this. You didn't put out this, Ziggy. You did not put out this. I'm not picking and choosing. You were." And that's the problem with people like you, with your brain. When people, lowly educated human beings, talk like you do, you're telling us more about yourself than you'll ever tell anyone about me, right? You ain't telling nobody nothing about PG, because you don't know nothing about me. You don't know nothing about me, Ziggy, other than I don't lie. And I don't go along with evil people like you, right? Won't you tell all these people how you were flirting with me? And I don't swing that way. And even if I did, I sure to hell wouldn't swing with you. But tell them how you was hitting on me, because that's the truth. You was, right? You rather had PG than Fred. For real. That's the truth, y'all. That's the truth. She was hitting on me. For real. God's honest truth. She really was. And not only that, but she wants to talk about other people and how many times have they been married. How many times have they been married? Well, I've only been married once. One time. Right? One time, 4 kids, very good husband, left me way too soon. Right, Ziggy? I'm about to be married twice. I'm about to be married twice. But you know what, Ziggy? I ain't never been married to get somebody's citizenship. Why don't you tell everybody about how you want to talk about people's marriages? Let's talk about yours. Let's talk about how you married your girlfriend's man so he could stay in the country. Paid you. They paid you. You told me that they paid you so he could stay in the state. Right, Ziggy? And then they were giving you everything, bought you a vehicle, giving you money, was being real good to you. And you wanted to stay married to him. You wanted to be his girlfriend. You wanted to take him from and he said no. He said no. And since they done gave you the money and they done got you the car and they done did everything other than just letting you live with them, you threw him under the bus. You decided you couldn't have him. You didn't even want your girlfriend having him either. So you called the deal off. So you went and divorced. So that this particular guy would get sent back because you couldn't have him yourself. Right? Why don't you talk about that? You want to talk about other people's stuff and keep your shit in the closet. But no, let's open your closet up there, Ziggy. Let's open it. Because you ain't opening none of mine. Not a one. You have no idea who I am. The only thing you want me to be. You want me to be 50, 60, 70 years old. You want me to be an old person because you can't stand the thought of me being who I am. You can't stand the thought of me being the age I am. You can't stand the thought that I'm fucking brilliant for a young person. Right, Ziggy? That's your problem. That's your problem. Your problem is you don't want to think that someone else is way better looking than you. Right? I don't have none of those problems. I have none. I hope people are young. I hope they're full of youth. I hope they're doing good. And I hope they're beautiful. Just like myself. Inside and out. Unlike you. You're evil. You're evil. And I'm going to tell you another little secret. You ain't getting shit from PG. You ain't getting shit from PG. You want to know why? Because there's no law against telling the truth. There's no law in putting out public information. If it goes public, it belongs to everyone. So there you go, Ziggy. You ain't getting nothing. Now, I don't know about Ryan Fine's truth, but I know when it comes to me, honey, let me tell you what. PG's educated. I'm educated in the medical field. I'm educated in the field of law. I'm educated in the field of education. I'm educated in all kinds of fields, something you know nothing about. Right? Why? Because I applied myself to knowledge. I love learning. You know what a good education does? It gets you a good job. You know what a good job does? It takes care of your children. It takes care of your family. It takes care of you. Something you don't, the J-O-B word is just as much of a sinful word to use, Ziggy, as it is to Fred. Neither one of you like the J-O-B word, right? But I love it. I love it. I love being able to correspond with many different human beings in the world. I love helping many, many people in the world. I love what I do. I don't want to sit somewhere on my backside begging for peanuts, begging for scraps, right? Because I'm too lazy to get out there and do what it takes to take care of my children. Yeah, I'm not going to the freaking dollar store and buy breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Ziggy. I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. I'm going to go to a real store. And I'm going to get a real shopping cart. And I'm going to buy my family real food. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. And I'm going to make sure that I fix it for them. I'm going to get up and make breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm going to find time to do what it takes to take care of my family. Nothing lazy about me. I do overtime. I pull overtime. Matter of fact, pulled overtime today. Trust and believe me. When I say I did overtime today, honey, I did overtime. PG busted her ass to do what I do. And I still find time to donate my time in doing all of this as well. And I ain't asking people, oh, can you buy me a car? Can you DoorDash me some food? I'm so hungry. Could somebody DoorDash me some food? Could you cash out me some money? I don't get on Facebook and hit everybody I know up, asking them, can they give me some money? I'm going to tell you, Ziggy, I got a lot of people in my chat right now. I got a ton of people in my chat now, right now. And I tell you what, I can ask every last one of them. Every last one of them. Put a 1 in this chat right now. If it is a true statement, if this is a true statement, put a 1 in the chat. I have not ever asked, not even one of you, and I've got a lot of you on my Facebook, but if this is a true statement, please put a 1. I have not ever asked one of you on here or on Facebook to Cash App or send me anything. I have not ever asked one person for anything on your on Facebook or over here on this YouTube. Yeah, take a look at that, Ziggy. It's a very true statement. It's a very true statement. Look, I haven't ever asked any of my people. You know why? Because I'm not a bum. I'm not a bum. I have pride. I have dignity. I have morals. I have self-respect and respect for others. You know, Ziggy, I don't just not ask these people for anything because, of my oversized pride. I don't ask them for anything because I love and care about them. And I do not want to take anything from them that they can use or might need themselves. See, I care about these people. I love these people. And I do unto them the way I want them to do unto me. Right? That's a commandment. Do unto others as you would have them. You will have them do unto you. There you go, Ziggy. And I would want them to care about me and me having enough to take care of myself. And I do the same. I want them to have enough to take care of themselves. I do not want to put these people in no type of hardship. I love them. I care about them. Something you know nothing about. You know nothing about that. Right? She ain't got no damn job. She ain't got no job. She's sitting around with freaking Fred doing nothing. They stay up all night, sleep all day. right? That's what they do. But I'm going to tell some things, Ziggy. I ain't gonna bring this out. I'm not gonna, if I wanted to, Ziggy, if I wanted to, the only comments, the only thing that I have left that I'm leaving out of all of this is what Fred had to say about your daughter. And why your daughter don't go to school, why you guys really do have to stay up at night because of your daughter. I wasn't bringing that out. Right, Ziggy? Because unlike you, I have respect for kids. You don't. You don't. You have no respect for kids. And here you are, once again, right? Putting out an innocent family. Putting out an innocent family. I don't even know who this lady is. I don't know who this lady is. If I did, I'd tell you. But I don't. I have no idea who this woman is. I don't have no idea who any of these people are that these people are trying to say I am. I have no idea. I don't have any idea about Martha Morrison. I don't have no idea about Dusty Butt Margaret. I don't have no idea about this Kathy Morrison, this Kathy Snout, this Kathy any damn thing. Because that ain't my name. That is not my name. I'm going to tell you, way back, they wanted to call me Kathy, right? And I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny to fuck with them, right? Excuse me for having a sense of humor, okay? Excuse me. I was new to YouTube. I didn't realize, these people were, all starched up, right? I didn't know that they starched their bloomers and put them on. I like to laugh. I like to joke. I like to mess with people sometimes, especially when they're trying to mess with me. So, and I felt bad about it. I felt bad about it, because they was trying to, say I was this Kathy Morrison lady who I wasn't. And then they went real life on this lady, right? They was trying to go real life on her. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm just kidding. What the hell are you doing? I didn't know these people were so evil out here. And I think it was around Christmas one year, I even got a hold of one of this lady's sons, and let him know that to be weird. Actually, I sent a card to the house, and I left my number, and the son had actually called me. The son called me, and and I spoke to him, and I said, these people, I think they could be dangerous, and I understand, they're like basically stalking, your mother and your family, and I don't know how you want to handle it, but I just, I want to make you aware of it. I want to make you aware of it because, I don't want no innocent people getting hurt because, they want to make up people instead of, just leaving shit alone, right? And anyhow, that's what they were doing. That's what they were doing. And now, and then they did it to this other lady. Some zookeeper woman. And then they did it to another woman who worked at some factory. And I think that was Martha, or maybe the other one was Martha. I don't know. Somebody was Martha. And then they did it to some lady named something Dean. Some woman named something Dean. And I'm like, wow. And actually her daughter-in-law came up on our panel, and said, and even showed this Patricia Dean woman, on my live. She's got a camera on this poor, sick, older lady. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just freaking evil in every aspect of the word. And then Ziggy somehow comes up with, we found PG, here she is. Oh, look at your cutie little husband. I'm not going to lie, you guys. I thought it was funny as fucking hell. Right? I did. I was cracking up watching Ziggy show all of these pictures and all of this shit, right? Like I said, I've got a sense of humor. I've got a real sense of humor about me. I find every fucking thing funny. I'm sorry. I mean, my kid drops a mother freaking milk jug, I laugh. If the whole mother freaking, I don't know if you guys have those those pot and, it's like a pot and pan holder. It goes over the island, over the kitchen island. It hangs down from the ceiling. Well, the whole mother freaking thing fell, right? I'm cracking up. I'm laughing my ass off. I have not ever seen pots and pans fly like that. I've always heard about pots and pans flying in the kitchen, but I didn't ever get a real good look like that with it. And when I did, most people would have been like, oh my gosh. Not me. I don't care. What you going to do? What you going to do? I find that shit hilarious. For real. I don't care. I don't care. Nothing bothers me. It's just who I am. Back your mother freaking car. Back your mother freaking car up and, knock like my kids, my kid's uncle. He'll back the car up and knock the garbage cans over, right? He'll knock the whole mother freaking thing. I just laugh. I don't care. He ran over the grill one time. Gotta buy a new one. Right? And the funny thing is when he stepped out of the car, he said, oh, I know what you're going to say. Gotta buy a new one. And and I'm laughing even harder. Because, he always knows what I'm going to say. And I don't care. It's like when my son was, we was supposed to be researching into what this particular thing was in the wall, what it was for, because I didn't know. I thought we was just going to look into it. And next thing I know, there's, big old holes in the wall. And like, this kid went mayhem, plaster going everywhere. I'm like, whoa, and all I could do was laugh. I couldn't even stand up because I'm laughing so hard that he just did that, demolished the whole wall, right? Because that wasn't my idea on finding out what it was. I'm like, take a picture of it and Google it. do something not so invasive, right? But that's who I am. I don't care. Whole fucking house could fall. I'm laughing. I'm going to crack up. I don't care. It's just how I am. But, like I said, people's got starch in their bloomers. And, they want to take everything you say serious. And then they want to try to go mayhem in real life on this shit. And it's all crazy. It's all crazy. But that's what these evil people do. That's what these haters do, right? That's what they do. So she puts out this man and this woman. Hell, I don't know who the hell it is. It might be Fred's mom and dad, for all I know, because look at that dude looks like Fred. He looks like Fred. And to be honest, look, these motherfreaking, this looks like an old Fred and Ziggy. I don't know who they are, but that's what it looks like to me, is an old Fred and Ziggy. In my opinion, this is my opinion, Put a 1 in the chat if it freaking looks like them. It looks like Fred's dad. I'm telling you, for real. Look at Fred, and look at this man. It might be Fred's mom and dad. I don't even know. I haven't ever seen Fred's mom and dad, but that's who the fuck it looks like, if you ask me. And damn, Fred and Ziggy look just like them, right? Now we know what they're going to look like when they old. That's, I appreciate it. All right. I appreciate it. But that's who I think it is. I think that's fucking Fred's daddy and his mommy, and look. And oh yeah. And that ain't the half of it. Was it? Fred said his mom's a witch. Fred said his mom's a witch too. And damn. Look, Ziggy's a woo-wooer as well, right? Look, freaking woo-wooer. Woo-wooer. Oh, wow. Look at that. I think that's Fred's freaking mom and dad right there. And then, whoa, it's like history repeated itself. That's some crazy shit. All right? All right? But, tonight I brought along, what Fred and Ziggy look like after midnight. After midnight. All right. There they are at the dollar store. they're both at the dollar store. All right. And look, now I know how to get there. Now I know how to get there. Fred's like, help. Look, he's even trying to do put the thumb in, fingers down. Put the thumb in, fingers down. He's even trying to do the hand signal. Look at that. All right. Poor Fred, man. Poor Fred. That's funny as hell. But I'm going to tell you something, Ziggy. Don't ever say PG lies. Because I'm going to tell you right now, honey, right there, the proof is in the fucking pudding. This is your old man. This is your old man's words. Right there, you can see who's writing. Right there. You know what you're upset about? Is you tried to hide this. And PG, I brought it to the table. I thought there was a bunch of stuff missing. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm going to be bringing out the rest. Because you know what? I don't lie. At all. I'm a really nice person. Until you choose to make me not one. That was your own choice. That's your own choice, right? It sure was. It was your choice. It was your choice when you, and not only that, but I found another thing. Freddie boy right here, it's talking about, this vehicle and Andy being up there, and all of this stuff right here. I said Andy was at work, and you said between 3 and 5 he's up there running around. How can he? Because right here, Fred, this is your ex. This is your ex old lady right here. The one Ziggy stole you from. The one she stole you from. Hey, when you guys hauled the cars off and was late getting there, did you guys bring the car back? No, we made it on time. So, how do you know who's inside the holler, Fred, when you and your girl were supposed to be hauling cars? And then you said it went from hauling cars to hauling a motorcycle to hauling two motorcycles to hauling the one motorcycle, not knowing the guy, don't ever see him again, to hauling two motorcycles and knowing the guy with the two motorcycles. Um, you know, you have made up so many different stories about June 15th, 2021, but your neighbor said that you didn't ever was seen coming back in, but you were seen trying to get out. So they assume you and Laura had been inside of Ben Hill Road the whole entire day. And if you were inside Ben Hill Road the whole entire day, then you were down there when Candace pulled up to meet up with Chad Arnold and obviously had Cotton down there too. And I bet you all went over. You all probably was in those vehicles coming out and going over to Morrison Cemetery. That's my opinion. And that's why you feel like you have to put so many other people on Ben Hill Road that day, is to cover your own ass. That's what I think. That's what I think. Because you're putting Donald on there, you're putting Andy on there, you're putting a bunch of vehicles that don't even exist on there. It's bullshit. I tell the truth, right? Tell the truth and shame the devil. Why don't you do that, Fred? Tell the truth and shame the devil, right? I bet you ain't never shamed the devil in your life because you probably ain't ever told the truth. Just saying. And didn't you see her getting excited last night? Did you see her getting excited? I didn't get to see this until today, right? I didn't get to see any of it till today. Somebody hit me up, and I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you guys that hit me up through chat and let me know, people spreading, lies. But I clicked in to see what are they talking about. I clicked in to see, and here she was hollering, "Hey, did she message you? She messaged you? Oh yeah, she messaged you, right?" And Fred's like, "No, not recently." And she's like, "Oh, because all of her bullshit went down the drain, right? All of her bullshit went down the drain. Are you kidding me? Bitch, when you was up all night worrying about PG, I was in my jammies. I done did a live last night for Little Summer. I done hit the refrigerator, right? I done hit the refrigerator and mother freaking, had my mother freaking Lucky Charms and some donuts and whatever else I could find that my kids, didn't devour. And I done climbed back up the stairs in my jammies to my beautiful room, and I went to sleep. And you know what? I was sleeping peacefully. I thought, with the sugar plums and all that dancing in my head, I was having sweet dreams of the holidays coming up and that big turkey on the table and the ham and all the trimmings and and all the pumpkin pies and apple pies and berry pies and cheesecake and all the cookies. And I was in heaven. I was in heaven, sleeping on my big, nice, soft bed with my beautiful pillows. I was in heaven. I wasn't even giving you a thought, Ziggy. Are you fucking kidding me? And I won't be giving you a thought when I get off of here tonight. Because you don't get to live rent-free in my head. Now I might be doing a boot stomp up in yours, but you ain't doing nothing in mine, right? I'm gonna tell you, I close all the windows and lock the doors. All right. I don't be letting none of that evilness in after midnight. I gotta go to bed. I gotta get some rest. Shit, I ain't got time for that. I ain't got no fucking time for that. I'm too blessed to be stressed, right? Hell no, hell no. But yeah, and she's gonna, and PG's gonna try to deny this woman being her. Of course I'm gonna deny it because it's not true. That's bullshit. That's pure bullshit. You know what your problem is, Ziggy? You're jelly. You're freaking envious and you're jelly of PG. You're jelly that I am beautiful. You're jelly that I am truthful. You're jelly that I'm God-fearing. You're jelly that I am everything you wish you could be, right? Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with me. If you agree that Ziggy wish she could be everything PG is, and that's why she's a hater and jealous, put a 1 in the chat. Because I know it. I know for a fact. The bitch wish she was me, but she not, and she ain't ever going to be, right? Because she don't got it like that. She don't got it like that. I'm going to tell you what, you got to have God. You have to have God and Jesus Christ in your life. You have to have the Holy Spirit within you. You got to have angels watching over you in order to have it like this. You got to love God more than you love anything else in this whole world to have it like this. I tell you that right now, Ziggy. And I tell you now, you ain't going to have God as long as you playing with your woo-woo cards. As long as you playing with those woo-woo cards, you ain't going to be having nothing. And I'm going to tell you right now, it ain't my job. It ain't my job, to take you to heaven. I can't get nobody to heaven but myself. It's your job to get yourself there. But it is my job to let you know you've got a heaven to gain and a hell to shun. And it is my job to tell you Jesus Christ is the way. Jesus Christ is the way to the Father, and he's the only way. And you best be finding him. That's what I do need to be telling you. So I did what I needed to do. Okay? And that's probably more than you'll ever do for anyone else. But I hope you pay it forward one day, Ziggy, when you wake up and figure out that all you need in this world is God Almighty and his son, Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit, and them angels. But I don't think you will, because you're too deep in being evil. And nobody wants nothing to do with that, Ziggy, except people like Fred Hill. People that are as evil or maybe more evil than yourself. And I'm being nice. I'm being nice. But I think she got a picture of Fred's mom and dad and tried to put it out there like it is freaking supposed to be me and some guy named Albert. And that's another thing, Ziggy. If I told Fred that my old man's name's Albert, then you show it. Show it. You show the text, or you play the mother freaking clip where I said it. You do that. Because no, what I told him was, we were talking about something, I don't remember what. Probably on recording. Probably will be on recording, and I'll be able to play it out because I've got it all. But I have to go through it little by little. I stay very busy. I know it. I got it. I recorded everything. But we were talking about something. I don't know if it was being late. I think he might have been saying that, he needed um that Ziggy had just made dinner or something. And I told him, well, I'll let you go. And he's like, no, no, it has to cool down or something. And it might have been when he was, when he was talking about her making some food or something. I don't know. But anyway, the comment that I made was, hurry up, Alfred, it's almost tea time. That's what I said. That's what I said. I thought it was funny, like the British people, hurry up, it's going to be tea time soon. That is, and Alfred's supposed to be, the driver. Hurry up, Alfred, it'll be tea time soon, let's get home. I thought it was funny. And that's probably, I'm pretty sure, I did say it and laughed. But it was a joke. It was a joke, towards him having to get some food or something, I believe it was. So, I don't, and then she twists it and turns it to, my freaking old man's name is Alfred. Oh, her old man's name is Alfred. No, not even close. Right? Not even close. But anyhow, so be it. So be it. My old man's got a way cuter name than Alfred. Right? Alfred, where are you? Alfred, it's time to go to bed. Turn out the lights. Right? on my freaking wedding night, I promise I'm going to call my old man Alfred. I'm going to tell him, Alfred, could you turn off the lights? I'm going to laugh. He's going to be like, who the fuck's Alfred? He's going to be like, who the fuck is Alfred? I'm going to be cracking up. Right? That's going to be some funny shit. Oh, God. That is hilarious, man. My old man. I can't wait. Till he hears that. But yeah, no. I'm sorry to tell you, Fred. I am not your mother freaking daddy and mommy right there. Definitely fucking not. But it sure looks like you and Ziggy are. Right? It sure looks like you guys are. Going to the dollar store after midnight. Hey, baby, you need a lift? Ziggy like, hey, baby, you need a lift? And take you back home. That's funny stuff. But you know what I'm going to do right now for you, Fred? You know what I am going to do? I'm going to play the interview, complete interview, no interruptions of everything you said in case any other creators or anyone wants it. Feel free to take it. Feel free to use it. I have nothing against people using the content here because all this content, well, it helps Summer Moon Utah Wells. It helps this little missing girl off of Ben Hill Road to be found, right? It helps her to be found. And anyone and everyone is welcome. You're welcome to anything that I put up here tonight. Anything you need it, you want to use it, please go right ahead. Won't hear nothing from me. But here we go, Fred. And then after I play out this, Fred, this interview that I've already took all of my people over. We've already been over it. I've already talked over it. After I play this, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring out a whole lot of new stuff starting tomorrow night. Oh no, that's right. Tomorrow's Friday. I'm sorry. Let me back up. Beep, beep, beep. All right. Let me back my little sexy self up. Beep, beep, beep. And let everybody know I observed the 7th. I give all of my haters the 7th so they can talk about me. All right. So they can all feel safe about coming sideways at PG on Friday night. It's Friday Night Live. All right. They all be out there because they know PG observes the 7th, and I ain't going to come out here for nothing, because, God becomes first in my life and before all. And it says to observe the 7th, and that's what PG's going to do. I can't say nothing. I will come out here. If I come out here on a Friday, trust me, it's going to be important. You ain't going to want to miss it if I show up on a Friday. Because the only way I'm showing up is if I got news on Summer, I've got news on one of the other missing kids. If I've got some real news to share with y'all, I'll be here. Even Jesus healed on the 7th. If it's really important, I'm going to be here. But it best be very important. Because if it ain't, you ain't going to see PG. I'll be back on Saturday. And come this Saturday, it's going to be a whole new rollout. Of all kinds of things Fred said about all kinds of people. And I don't think these people won't want to miss it. And I don't think you're going to want to miss it either. But I'm rolling out more. A whole lot more is coming to you, baby. So here we go, Freddie. Listen, I was thinking of something.
Yeah.
Now, Cotton Simpson, you said he was found over by the cemetery where Domwell's mother is buried, right?
Yes. So yeah, it's the backside of Law Run Park.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, is that the same cemetery that Cotton Simpson's mother and dad and they're buried in, or is that on down the way? Now I know they're buried, right there at the corner, like the corner of the road down from where Cotton lived, right?
I'm not for sure where they're buried at, be honest about it. His parents, I don't know.
Okay. Well, they're buried right there at that, oh Lord, what's the name of it? That church. It's that road.
Bowers is where Karen Goad's buried.
I can't think of the name of it right off the top of my head.
I think Cottonham's family's got a little cemetery across from Cotton's. I think Cotton's house. I think
it's down it's like Cotton's house. Well, Cotton's mother, Cotton, and some of his they all lived on this one little, wasn't little, but piece of land.
There's a church in front of their house too.
Right.
That's a different church than they found his vehicle at. But the the road that they found his vehicle on is the same cemetery and church that it's Bowers Cemetery, and I don't know what the church's name is, but
Is it
see, that's
it's
the road that
Dunker? It's Dunker Church Road, I think. The cemetery's there. Do you know what I'm talking about? The Dunker. It's like
no.
as you're going down to Cotton's and there's home. I believe that's the cemetery back in there where his mom and dad, and I mean Cotton's not there. He got cremated.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know exactly what road or cemetery they're at, really, to be honest about it. I'd be lying if I said I did, you know.
Right. My thought is, you know, Candace and them coming out of Kingsport that day. And they're right in the vicinity of War Run. They're in the vicinity of Cotton's place. They're in the vicinity of all of this stuff right there.
But see, where they took that picture and video at was Merle Road and Lone Star, but some people calls it Gum Spring, or not Gum Springs, but Old Blair's Gap, but it's Lone Star now through there. But see, if she's coming towards their house, towards 110, from where they took that picture at, there's a road that cuts off about 500 feet past where they took that video, and it turns onto Big Ridge Road, and Big Ridge Road cuts across to the road that supposedly that David and George had seen on.
Right. Right. So they're all in this vicinity together.
Yeah.
They're all in this one vicinity together. Mountain View Road. Because Cotton lived right there on Sandy Road, right?
Yes.
And
yeah, you turn on Sandy Road right there on the right.
Right. And I know there's
and
that
see,
church.
Cotton's mother lived in that. See, Cotton's mother lived in that first house, from what I understand, and then his sister lived in the second house behind it. But see, what was strange too, Cotton's sister used to own a white HHR, and then after Summer went missing and stuff, they had it painted or traded it in, and it's a blue HHR now. I've got pictures of it.
Right. You know, now, did Don Wells... Don Wells is, and Candace both, they're adamantly saying, we don't know Cotton Simpson. We don't know this guy. We ain't never seen this guy. We know nothing about this guy. Is that true?
Well, I do know that Cotton, the last time I spoke to him, he was talking about being up at 110 the day Summer went missing. And he's talking about sleeping with mother and daughter. He didn't say whether it was Candace and Grandis or Summer and Candace.
Right.
That's what kind of confused me, you know. He didn't specifically say exactly which one.
Do you remember that right after Summer's disappearance that Don and Candace and all of them, they was acting really... Grandis ran the hell out of there. Andy Bernard ran the hell out of there.
Well, see, the law enforcement made Grandis leave because she's not allowed around children, period.
Well,
I do know that.
There was no children. They took the boys and Summer was missing. There was no children. So.
Well, she didn't come. See, she left and then come back after the boys was took.
Right. She took off. Actually, Grandis took the hell out of there after the boys were taken. And Andy Bernard, I don't know which one of them got out of there the fastest because Grandis went first. Andy went right after Grandis. Jody Sue went right after Andy. And the funny thing is right there after Cotton Simpson came up on Alive, Cotton Simpson had quite a bit of money on him. He had just barely done. Was he at your house the day?
Yeah.
He was there
the day before.
The day before he ended up dead, or the very day?
The day before.
He was at your home.
Yeah.
But he wasn't.
The evening before.
He wasn't.
Not the day that they found him. No, I didn't know nothing about they even found him. And Marvin Simpson had told me that they had found him. That he told me that Betty Jo Simpson had called him and told him that they had found cotton and stuff, and that he had a big gash in his back of his head and stuff. That's why they give me a polygraph, because they hadn't released that he had a gash in the back of his head. And the only reason I knew is because she had told Marvin, and Marvin had told me. Right. And that's the only reason I knew, you know.
Right. Hold on, I'm trying to find out exactly when Cotton passed away.
Best I remember, it was, I want to say February the 14th or something. Of 2023, maybe. I'm not for sure. Seemed like that's what date I remember somebody saying. I'm not for sure.
February the 14th, 2023, exactly.
But see, Cotton used to work at Warriors Path up there as a maintenance before, a few years before Summer went missing and stuff.
And he came out on disability.
Yeah.
And he was getting quite a bit of money. He had been in jail for 6 months, and that money had piled up in his bank account, which would have come to around $18,000. It's what he would have had in his bank. And when he was at your house, and then the following morning he was found dead.
The next day, sometime the next day, I don't know what time.
He was found dead.
They said some hikers had found him or something.
Right, the next morning. And Don and Candace, he said he was up there. Now, could he have left your house and stopped by the Wells house?
No, because me and Marvin actually had followed him and stuff to the top of the mountain, and we turned around that top of the mountain at the Mountain View at the stop sign, because when he was at my house, he was wanting to buy a boat and stuff, and I was in partners with somebody else on the boat, and I told him I couldn't really price it right then. I had to get with them and stuff to take and find out what they wanted for their part, you know. Right. And then he got to talking about he was worried about having money and stuff on him. And I don't know why he was talking about worried about getting robbed or whatever. But me and Marvin actually followed him we was trying to make sure he made it home or whatever. But once he got to the top of the mountain, instead of turning left to go to his house, he turns right and goes towards Betty Jo's, because Betty Jo lives on that same, right past where the cemetery and stuff, where they found his vehicle.
Right.
And I thought, well, maybe he's going over there or something to hang out, you know, because he does go over there and hang out with them a lot.
Right. So you didn't follow him no further. You guys just went back to the house.
Yeah.
And the next morning he was found over there dead.
Yeah, I didn't find out till like 4 o'clock or something the next day. I think it was around 4 o'clock that Marvin had come and had mentioned it. Actually, it was Marvin and Haskell Rhines that pulled up together and was mentioning it to me. They asked me if I'd heard, and I said no.
Right.
Because Marvin Simpson, he is kin to Cotton. He was actually raised the house before you get to Cotton's mom's house.
Right.
It's a little old black and, well, like a log house, like.
Right.
And see, that's who I tried to get. When he was at the house, he was talking about a cave. So he let on like he had tried to talk to Hawkins County about knowing exactly where Summer was and stuff in a cave and stuff. And then
did you ask him how he knew she was in a cave?
He just, only thing he'd say is when they found her, they would know exactly who done it.
But he didn't tell you who done it?
No, he didn't say he done it. No. He just said once they found her that they would know exactly who done it.
So.
But see, that's where I tried to get Ryan to get up with Marvin, because I didn't know where the caves or nothing was down in there. Marvin was raised right there around Cotton and knew exactly where Cotton hung out at the caves and stuff at when they was children and stuff.
Right.
And I'm trying to get Ryan to go and get with Marvin, then Ryan like he's afraid Marvin's going to get him back there at the cave and knock him off and all that bullshit, you know. And then I finally talked to law enforcement, actually Nate Simpson, and because Nate was raised right there on the same road that Betty Joe and them lives on, and right behind that church.
Right. Well, the problem is they're not going to, you know, blood thicker than water.
Yeah.
You know, this Nathan you're talking about, this is his family. And so, you know, but I do know that Cotton Simpson only had $2,000 in the bank at the time. He, you know, he had pulled out all of his monies, and only had $2,000 at the time. He was found, you know, unalived. So that means he had to had about $16,000 somewhere.
Right.
16,000 cash somewhere.
Right.
That
like
nobody's been able to find.
Yeah, like I told L.E., the law enforcement and stuff, when I was talking to him about it, Betty Joe did have some money and stuff after, you know, after they had found Cotton and stuff, more money, because she never did have no money, maybe $50 or something other, but she had a couple $100, you know, because she had come and actually tried to buy some dope off of me, and I was actually out at the time.
Right. Oh, so she pops up with monies as well.
Yeah, because I talked to law enforcement even about that, you know.
Right. Oh, okay.
But they're thinking she's the prime suspect in his death, you know. They're trying to link her to another death of Brad Simpson. They said that the drug task force said that she had sold him some hot dope that killed him.
What?
That's what they told me, but.
Whoa.
She is a dangerous woman. And she's dating Donald Bernard now, which was, you know, when Don had slept with Candace said Dawn had slept with that, what is her name?
The
on
one
the
that you
couch.
put a big mark over her face
I don't know.
on
I
Facebook?
think,
The one she called a whore? Candace was calling a
I
whore?
guess.
And she came up in Don's house and
Crystal
messed with him.
Spencer. Crystal Spencer.
Yeah.
See, Crystal was started after that incident with Don. Crystal started dating Donald Bernard, and now Betty Joe is dating Donald Bernard, and she's actually she drives a crazy chick, and she thinks she can get out of everything. And Donald
Bernard any relation
drivers,
to Andy?
Huh?
Is Donald Bernard any relation to Andy?
Yes.
Oh, what is he to Andy?
I don't know, but he's kin to Andy. And see, Donald Bernard and Donald Bernard's brother, I'm trying to think of his name. They own Refuting septic tank service where they pump septic tanks and stuff throughout the creek.
What do you exactly think happened to Summer?
Well,
do you think she was alive on those milk jugs?
At first, I figured it was an accident cover-up, but I don't know. With DJ Smith, Dennis James Samuel Smith, when I was in the halfway house, he allowed that he knew Don and Andy, and that Don and Andy owed a drug debt in Knoxville. This is what he said, and I had to turn it all into TBI, or the law enforcement, and they called TBI to go ahead and dip my phone over it. But he allowed that they had owed money in Knoxville to this playboy, supposedly. And he said it was roughly around $40,000, and that Summer was supposed to been held until they brought the money back. But he went on to say that there was actually 11 children there. But the only two names that he brought up of the children was Summer Wells and a Jonathan Tate. They supposed to be 10 girls and a boy that they was moving between 3 motels and 2 houses in Knoxville.
Now, why would Donald not take the monies back? Because he got way more than $40,000. But
the way that Dennis talked when all of it went down and stuff, when Don and them called her in missing, Don done that to try to get out of paying, and then I don't know what happened. He let on like there wasn't no return after that because of everything.
I can't hardly believe that story because I can't believe that.
I mean, DJ, he could have been lying. I don't know,
Yeah.
But I did turn it into TBI and stuff, law enforcement.
I can't believe that story because Candace took a picture, that video, about 10 minutes away over there on out off of Beach Creek right there.
It was at the corner of Merle Road and Long Star.
Mm-hmm. Now,
coming around that curve.
She takes that it's about 10 minutes if you're at a good speed, maybe a little, if you're slow, if you're moving slow, it'd be a little bit more, maybe 14 minutes. Yeah. But she takes that video and then she heads, somewhere between that video and 110 Ben Hill Road, Summer comes up missing. That video would have been taken, I estimate, around 3:15. she's pulling into Ben Hill Road around 3:25. She's going up on 110 where she drops Grandma off. And I don't know if maybe she kept Summer in the vehicle so the boys could see their sister and believe she's somewhere still on the property so that she could gaslight the shit out of them.
I don't know.
Or if the boys just really didn't see Summer and just assumed that she was, with Grandis and Candace and got out and was there. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like the oldest son knows just the way Dawn, as soon as Summer went missing and stuff that evening. Dawn, the first time Dawn come to my house and stuff and talk to me, he didn't have the boy with him. But after that, for several days, every time he come, the boy would be with him, and he just look at the ground when he look up at you or nothing. It was like Dawn was trying to control who he was around and keep him from saying anything.
Right. I think Dawn was keeping the oldest boy with him. In order to try to gaslight and smokescreen people into believing, he's a good dad and he has a son with him, and you should feel sorry and pity for Dawn and Candace because they have, these children, and Dawn was just trying to put a show as if I'm a good dad, I give a shit, about my kids, my son with me.
For everybody.
They
pretend that they was good parents and stuff, but
they were shit parents. And very
was
abusive.
Around and seen the youngins and stuff.
Right.
That, like when I'd pull up or something other up there at Dawn and Candace's or whatever, Candace, if the youngins was playing with sticks or whatever, they was bad to hit the animals and stuff with sticks. The kids would. Mm-hmm. She'd jerk a stick away from them and start hitting them and stuff.
Oh, Lord.
But as far as me seeing Dawn ever do anything to the kids, I've never seen. I'm not taking up for Dawn, period.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. But as far as me seeing Dawn abuse them out in the public or where you could see, I've never seen it, but I have seen Candace do it.
Did you ever see Dawn act weird around Summer?
No.
Did you ever see Summer acting weird?
And what bothers me too, if they lets on or Dawn and them let on kind of like old Summer just run up to talk to anybody. I've never seen Summer run up and talk to anybody. What little bit I was around them, she always acts shy like,
Right. Yeah. I don't.
She wasn't the type to run up to a vehicle or when I pull up and I'd pull up sometimes and ask Dawn if he might have a gallon of gas or something other that I could borrow to make it to town, and I'd bring it back to him because if you don't get gas, have money to get gas and you come from Kingsport, then and to get back, you're screwed.
Right.
So, and sometimes I didn't have money and I'd come on in and I'd stop and ask a few people if I could borrow a gallon or something, and I'd bring it back to them as I come back just to make sure I made it to town.
Right. Absolutely. It's very easy to get stuck out there. If if you're mindless and you don't remember to keep your car, filled up, you can very easily need gas and you ain't got none. And even if you got AAA, you're going to be using it all up with, them coming out to give you some gas. Roadside assistance. You'll find out.
And most people ain't even got AAA or nothing. Most of them ain't even got insurance.
Or yeah, probably. I wouldn't doubt that. I wouldn't doubt that at
Most
all.
of them ain't got license or nothing to even drive, but they do anyway, which I did too. I drove around without
Well,
license myself. I can't complain. I mean, can't say nothing about anybody else driving.
you
I was
got
just wrong as much as they was.
you got your license now?
Huh?
Do you have your license now?
No, I don't have my license. No.
Wow. What did they want to give them back to you?
Well, I've got something against my license where I'd had an accident, and they was going to sue me over it, and then they never showed in court that day. But all I got to do is go in I got to go to Greene County. That's where Homeland Security is.
Mm-hmm.
Anything to do with your license is through Homeland Security now.
Right.
And I got to go there and talk to a judge to have him to sign off for me to go ahead and get my license back,
Oh,
which I do.
I'd be doing that.
Yeah.
Ziggy drives, right? She's got her license.
Yeah. Yeah, she got her license back. They had expired and stuff, and then they give her a bid about getting them renewed and stuff. But actually, last week she finally got them back.
Well, praise God on that.
I mean, they was never suspended. They just had run out, and then they wouldn't renew them, But they never was suspended or nothing. They was always valid.
Right. That's the one thing you got to remember to do is always, keep up to date on your license. Constantly get it renewed each time. It would probably, be worth the trip to, I don't know if she's got a vehicle right now or she don't, but if she doesn't.
Yeah, I've got a vehicle. We got a thing.
Well, if you all got a vehicle, then, it would be worth gassing up, going to that Greene County and taking
Yeah,
care
I've got to go to Hawkins County over it's just an update on my fines, the 20th, I think it is, at 9 o'clock.
Right.
I go every 3 months to make sure. All it is just a show cause to make sure I am paying on my fines and stuff.
Right. The day that Summer went missing, Candace says that she came down, she didn't deny coming down to your house. She don't deny seeing Chad Arnold down there. Why would she be at your house around 4:15? Why would she be at your house that particular day? Because Summer wouldn't have been missing yet. But she told Chad Summer was. She didn't bother to come knock at your door to see if Laura was there.
I don't know why.
Because
I don't know why she come really to my house, because she's never been to my house, period, Candace Hampton.
Oh, okay. And
she's never been to 207 or 165 or 167 either. Never been there.
I mean, I know that, like if I go to someone's house and even if, the car's gone, I know that, there's a girlfriend and boyfriend living there, or I know it's the wife and husband. I still go knock on the door because the wife might be there and he may be gone someplace. I still knock on the door to see if they're home.
Yeah, Laura a lot of time was home. I mean,
right,
when I was gone.
And I find it funny that Candace didn't even bother to come up and knock on the door that day when Chad Arnold saw her. You know. That's...
Yeah, I didn't even know she had been there until Chad had mentioned it,
Right. And he mentioned it to law enforcement as well, and it was too soon for Summer to be up. What bumfuddled him was, it was too soon for her to come up missing. I mean, this is between 4:15, and Summer ain't even supposed to be missing until 5:55, 6 o'clock. Because she didn't even call Dawn until 6:09. They didn't even call law enforcement until 6:28. They rounded it off at 6:30, but it was more like 6:28, 6:29 when the call came in from Dawn. Candace's call didn't come in until after that. They didn't ever release anything about Candace's call, only Donald's, which I found weird as well. I was just wondering, so Don and Candace couldn't have had anything to do with what happened to Cotton then, because you guys followed him back to his area for safety purposes.
I wouldn't think they did. My opinion on Cotton, I feel like that he probably had just went in on Betty Jo because he's went in on her before.
Right.
And I feel like she probably may have hit him with something and just panicked and took him over to the edge of the bank and threw him off.
If she didn't ever do something like this to him before, why would she do something like that to him now?
I don't know. She has psychotic moments. I mean, just like Donald Bernard, she stabbed him in the back with screwdrivers and all kinds of stuff and laugh at him and him have to go to somewhere else for them to pull it out and stuff.
Oh my God.
He's a dangerous individual, actually.
Whoa. Yeah.
And she hung out on Light Holler Road a lot too.
No, that's pretty rough area, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's just like Karen Rinfo. That's always up in Six Ups and Crystal's chat and stuff. See, her and Betty Jo is best friends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're real tight. Supposedly somebody said Don had been traveling to Light Holler buying some dope at times. Only place that he could been buying any dope at in Light Holler around the time that they were saying he would have been at this woman named Lisa.
Oh,
and she lives in the first trailer on the left as you go in Light Holler in Sullivan County.
Right.
And see, that's where Karen Rinfo and Betty Jo Simpson hangs out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. But Cotton was found inside Laurel Run Park. Do you think he could have been trying to get up to the waterfall? That's
what me and Marvin had thought. Once we got to thinking about it more, why would he be down in there? By him being at the house the day before and stuff, and talking about was supposed to be in a cave.
Could someone have made him go to where Summer was?
I don't know. I wouldn't have thought so, but
I mean, I
just feel like he had it on his mind and stuff, maybe, and was maybe going to go and check and see if she was still there or something. That's what me and Marvin had talked about.
Why is
but how did he get there is my question.
Right. My question is, why did Cotton Simpson say to some people very close to him, which I have talked to, why are these people telling me that Cotton told them that if anything happened to him, he wanted them to know that you had Summer's head in a box? Why would you say that?
I wouldn't have no idea, to be honest about it.
And why would your sister come out and say that she found a big muddy bathroom with the little girls T-shirt. And I mean, basically, alluding that you and Laura dug Summer up from somewhere. And why would your sister say things like this? Because your sister's talking to people behind the scenes as well. And, they were wanting me to talk with her, and I'd rather talk to you, which is first party. You would like to get it from the person that's being accused of these things and give them the opportunity to say, hey, this is a reason or that's a reason, or, it's just bullshit. It didn't happen,
Yeah, it was bullshit, as far as I know.
So she didn't find, when she was up there,
Karen never had no key to. See, my parents didn't trust Karen at all. She never did have no key or nothing to the house. Right. See, she used 207 as my drug to take and store my drugs and stuff. I'm just being straight honest with you.
Right.
That work on vehicles and just junk and stuff, mostly at 207, but I actually lived at 165. That was my mailing address, my everything.
Right. And you lost one of them to taxes, right? Or did you lose all? You lost one of the properties to taxes, or did you lose all the property to taxes?
Just, see, my sister Karen signed a piece of paper as only executor over 165 and let it get sold and stuff. And she was lying to me and my other sister that it had been saved and stuff. And we didn't. Me and Ziggy's actually the one that found out that she had went and sold it out, kind of.
From underneath you guys.
Yeah, me and my other sister, yeah.
And so, do you have any property inside of Ben Hill Road anymore?
Yeah, we still have 207, me and my sister does.
You and Karen, or you and the other sister?
Me and my other sister.
Okay, what does Karen have?
She ain't got nothing now. Where she sold the property of 167 and 165.
Oh, okay. So Karen lost everything.
No, Karen pocketed about 40-some thousand from the property at 165 and 7.
Where does Karen reside? Was she residing up there, or is she residing?
No, Karen never did come to the holler. Hardly ever. Once or twice. And probably, maybe 3 times before my parents and stuff passed away. From the time she got out of prison until then.
Okay.
She never come around anymore.
So Karen was in prison as well.
Yeah, she pulled time in prison for home invasions and drugs, selling drugs out of a gym that she was running in Gate City. And staging a crime scene where she had her son to do a home invasion, and stuff went south, and she took the crime scene from there back to her house and all kinds of shit.
Whoa.
See, my sister actually killed her first husband for $375,000 life insurance, but she never was convicted of it or nothing.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Oh, so she got almost, she got over $300,000. She got pretty rich.
Yep.
Yeah, it must have not have did her a lot of good, because then she's back selling up the property on Ben Hill Road.
Well, see, she took that money and just blew through it on cocaine and a bunch of new vehicles and some property and stuff, and then ended up losing it all. I mean, dirty money don't get you nowheres in life. You'll lose 10 times more than you gain from it.
I don't know why people want to make dealers rich. I don't understand why people want to do drugs. It ain't the way to go.
most people gets bored in their life and stuff, and things happening, and they just try to resort to drugs to kill their boredom and pain both,
Right. It numbs the pain. Yeah, mental, mental trauma, the way you were raised, the way people treat
Yeah.
you. Sure. I mean, if somebody's nasty and shitty to you when you're all hate up and messed up, you don't really give a damn. You're like, who gives a F what you say? When you're sober, and people come at you all the time and so forth and so on, it can be a lot of trauma, but you got to fight through that trauma in this life. You got to stay sober and
A lot of people, because you get clean, life gets better. Really, it gets harder because you got to face everything, face reality as reality's dealt to you, instead of dulling it with all the drugs.
I'm going to tell you something. When you're sober, I personally like to be, conscious of everything going on around me. I like to be sober all the time, and, maybe I'm just a dizzy human being, but nothing.
I wouldn't trade my sobriety for anything now.
Oh, I'm going to tell you, I'm really proud of you, Fred. I'm proud of you being able to get off that
PG,
stuff.
I've come a long ways to get where I am today.
Oh yeah, you had to walk through hell, but you made it. You made it, and I would never turn back to that stuff. I mean, from time to
I'll never
time,
come back to it.
time to time, you're going to want to, and
I mean, there are days you wake up. I mean, there'll be days I wake up and stuff, and it's just like I've been on a binge,
right.
But that's just the way it is. You just got to deal with it.
Amen. Absolutely. You got to conquer it or to conquer you.
I've been clean 21 months now, and this is the first time I've been clean in probably 37 years.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. The one thing you have to do is, I think the best decision you ever made was getting away from Laura, because
It was.
you can't be with
See, a lot of
someone
people
doing
don't
that.
know. A lot of people don't know, but Laura had more connections with the drugs than I did.
Right? Oh, I believe you. I believe you. I talked to Laura on many, many occasions, and she was always somewhere where I could tell that there's people who I would not want around me or associating with me at all, in the background of her. So,
Yeah, as soon as I went to jail, she started hanging out on Light Holler at where Brandon Clark and Pete and Glenda Head. See, Glenda Head used to be married to Cotton Simpson.
right. Now, how many times was Cotton married? Do you know?
Oh, I don't really know. I know that Glenda had been married like 5 different times or something.
Because Cotton was married. Does this Glenda, is she the one that's got a daughter by Cotton?
I think she is. See, they live on Light Holler, right behind that little old log church where JLR went to, and Brandon and him had walked through the mountain back to
Right.
Ben Hill.
Is this Glenda woman's mother still alive?
No.
Okay, her mother's passed away.
Yeah.
Was she Cotton's
Yeah,
last
her-
wife, or was she Cotton's?
She was close to one of his last wives, I guess. I'm a guessing. I really don't know. I couldn't be 100%
I
on it.
think his last wife's name was, started with an M. Megan. I know it starts with an M. His last wife that he had. Michelle.
I know.
Michelle? Was her name Michelle?
I don't know. be honest. Only one I know that really knew that was married to Cotton was Glenda.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know the rest of them.
And how many years ago you say that?
Really, I know of him, but I really didn't know Cotton. I hadn't spoke to Cotton maybe a couple times, different times in my life.
Laura told me that Cotton used to come up there to your guys' place. And like he'd come, maybe you guys wouldn't see him January, February, but then he'd show up in March. You might not see him for a month or so, and he'd show up again. And she said that after that little girl disappeared, came up missing, talking about Summer, that Cotton started coming to your house quite often, and he was becoming a bugaboo to you.
Well,
not to her, but to Fred, she said.
I don't know of Cotton ever been there but twice, unless he come while I was gone or something when she was there.
Oh, she said he came to see you all the time and was becoming a problem for you.
I don't know nothing about that. I don't think that. She must have been high or confused. Because only two times that he'd ever been to the house was Marvin Simpson brought him once, and then that was, I don't know, 6 months or something other. Well, I don't know exactly what date it was, but it was about 6 months that he had showed up again, and supposedly just got out of jail. The last time he come, the second time,
right,
was when he come by himself that time.
Right.
But that's when he was talking about all that, and then they found him dead the next day or something.
Now, when you guys followed him home, was he messed up? Was he like, had he been partying? Was he,
He had been drinking, I think.
So he was pretty messed up?
But he wasn't really, not as I could tell him, but you could tell he'd been drinking something.
Right. So basically like Don and Candace.
Yeah. Everyday drinker.
Right.
From what I understand.
Now, why would they ask? Why would someone want me to ask you why, why would you guys move Cotton's car unless you knew he was dead? Why would someone ask a question like that?
Yeah, I don't know why they would ask that.
They also wanted me to ask you about Ricky Trent. Now, Ricky Trent, isn't he got an old lady, Paula?
I think her name is Paula or something like that.
And are you super sociable with them?
No, I've sold them a few drugs along, but
so basically,
I met him. See, I met him through Pete Clark. I was at Jamie Cox's, and him and Pete Clark had pulled up, and Pete was asking for some drugs, and because that's mostly where I went to sell my drugs was. I hardly ever sold any in the holler. I'd always go out to most time do my dealings.
Right. So,
and I'd met him there a few times.
So basically, you didn't really know these people. You just knew of these people.
Yeah. But see, supposedly, from what I understand, that Cotton and Ricky Trent pulled time together in Hawkins County.
Oh, do tell.
And supposedly he had told Ricky pretty much the same thing he told me,
Right.
Is what way we talk.
Now, is it true that someone came up to your all's house and seen you and Laura smoking the brand of cigarettes Cotton smoked?
I'd never even seen Cotton even smoke a cigarette.
Oh.
I don't even know Cotton even smoked.
How long was Cotton at your house the night before he passed away, the day before he passed away? How long was he at your house?
Probably 15 minutes or so.
Was that late in the evening he shows up, or was it,
Seemed like it was around 12 or 1 o'clock in the day.
Oh, so it was the middle of the day he came to your house.
Yeah.
And he wasn't there the whole day.
No.
Oh.
No, he was just there a few minutes. Like 15, 20 minutes or something like that.
And you guys followed him in the middle of the day back to where he was going?
Yeah.
Wow. That's quite odd. Why would he be afraid right in the middle of the broad daylight?
I don't know. That's what didn't make sense to me either. And I told Marvin, I said, why? It don't make sense why he acting so nervous and stuff about being robbed. He kept mentioning he's afraid he'd get robbed or something.
Now, I
said, well,
I know that there was, and I know the names of these two people. I know there was two people who saw Cotton Simpson before he came to your house that day.
Yeah.
They know he gassed up at a gas station. He got cigarettes and gassed up at this gas station before, and he basically told them where he was heading to your place.
They say what vehicle he was driving?
Do you think, what did you say?
I said, did they say what vehicle he was driving when they seen him?
They didn't tell me that. I didn't ask, but I could. The thing is, well, they said the same vehicle. I mean,
that would tell me if he went back to it or whatever.
They did tell me, they did say this. The same vehicle that was found parked was the vehicle he had at the gas station. That's what I was told.
Oh,
yeah. So whatever kind of vehicle it was they found parked was the same vehicle that they had seen him at the gas station in. And
because he owns several different vehicles.
It's the same. It's also the same vehicle that they claimed that Laura's fingerprint was found in by law enforcement.
Well, I know for a fact there ain't no fingerprints of mine or Laura's on or in his vehicle.
And
I do know that for a fact.
Do you think he could have been afraid of the people who seen him at that gas station? Do you think that maybe it was these two people that he was afraid of? Because he knew that...
Possibly. I mean, because he was speaking of that right after he got there at my house,
And they did know. They did know that he had quite a sum of money, too. They knew that as well.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, I mean, that's real possible because he was acting nervous as hell when he was at my place, when he was talking. Because I had Marvin there working for me that day when Cotton had come.
Right.
Because I always work Marvin quite a bit and stuff.
Right. Wow. Did you know Cotton's daughter?
No, I don't even know her name or what she looks like or nothing. I heard he had a daughter, but as far as me knowing anything about her, no.
Yeah, she's like 35 years old. And she, to my understanding, she says he doesn't deserve justice.
I don't know.
Do you know any reason she would feel that way?
Cotton's always been kind of a pervert, from what I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Marvin always let on like that. Cotton would always want to go to like I'm trying to think of Woodridge. It's called Woodridge, but
Right.
what they do, Woodridge is a place that they house a lot of crazy people,
What?
and said that he's always wanting to go pick up women and stuff from Woodridge.
He wants to go pick up women at a nut hole?
Psych ward. Yeah.
What?
I mean, that's what Marvin allowed. I don't know if any truth to that or not, but that's what Marvin always talked about with Cotton.
Whoa. Yeah, I heard Cotton could say some really horrible things.
Well, see, Cotton had a lot of brain traumas and stuff, and had brain. I don't know if it was a stroke or what, but he had some plates and stuff in his head and stuff. He drove a crazy chick.
Right.
That the law enforcement would never take nothing he said serious, because when somebody that's drawing a crazy check, if they are anything to what they're saying, they can't testify in court because of that. That's why they won't never take nobody that is
They're
playing
incredible.
crazy, drawing. Yeah, they're incompetent in court.
Right. Okay.
They can't make nothing stick. And
That's-
see, that's why Betty Jo Simpson is. She draws a crazy check as well, and that's why she gets by with a lot of stuff she does.
There you go. There you go, you guys. That's the whole first part of the interview, right out of the horse's mouth. Nothing added, nothing taken away, and there's much, much more to come. Much, much more text, much, much more interview. And I'm going to bring it. All of you can hear it right out of the horse's mouth. What did I lie about? What could I lie about? It's right there. I don't say nothing. All my people, 4 years, consecutive 4 years, and so many months we have been here. Right? So many months. And I've always brought receipts. Every single time I bring the receipts. Go back as far as you want. Day one. PG always brings receipts right out of the horse's mouths. I talk to all of these people. Every time when I come out here, I bring the receipts. I don't care if I'm talking to the lights. I don't care if I'm talking to the wells. I don't care if I'm talking to Jody Sue, Andy Bernard. I don't care if I'm talking to Fred, Laura, Marlena, her brother. It doesn't matter. I bring all the receipts out here for everyone to hear right out of the horse's mouth. Man, I'm going to tell you what. I don't have to lie. There's too much truth in this case. Too much truth in this case. Why would anyone need to lie about it? That's insane. And I'll tell you something. I don't fear humans. I do not fear no human. Who would you fear so much that you would defy your God? Defy your God to lie to. Who would you fear so much that you would defy God? Because personally, I fear God way more than I fear anything on the face of this earth. Last time I checked, God Almighty is the one who actually puts the breath in all of us. right? I think it's his breath we're all breathing. Um, absolutely. And I'm going to tell you, he put the breath of life in you, and he's the only one that can take it out. Why would I fear anything or anyone other than God? Right? He's the Alpha, he's the Omega. He's the beginning, he's the end. And I'm going to tell you, without God, you ain't got nothing. Without his Son, you ain't got nothing. Without the Holy Spirit, you ain't got nothing. And without those angels watching over you, you ain't got nothing. God Almighty and his Son, the Holy Spirit, these angels, they all work together for our good. And you need to thank them. We all do. And I do. I do every day. But I'm going to tell you, they work together to keep us going down here. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't fear anybody enough to be telling no lies. That's for damn sure. And you know, I know it and God knows it. And as long as me and God knows it, that's all that matters to me. That's it. But Ziggy came out here last night and she lied on an innocent woman or Fred's parents. I'm not really sure who these people are. I don't even know. I mean, they really do look like Fred and Ziggy, to be honest with you. Just older. Just an older Fred and Ziggy. But I really don't know who they are. And that's the God's honest truth. I ain't ever heard of this lady. I ain't ever heard of none of these people until these people started, saying that I'm these people. And, it wouldn't be hard if I was a coward. It wouldn't be hard to say, oh yeah, that's me. It's not. It's not me. I cannot sleep at night thinking that some innocent person might came out sideways or something because of me. And I've always come out here and I've always stuck up for these innocent people. Every single time I come out and I say, hey, that's not me. Leave these innocent people alone. They're not PG. And it's because I care. I care about these people. I don't know who they are, but I don't want anything to happen to them. And the problem is all these people they pick on are old people. All of these people they pick on is old people. And I mean, they can, old people really can't handle this kind of stuff. Older people, Ziggy has no mercy, no love, no kindness, no caring, no conscience at all. She does not care what kind of stress, what kind of strain, what kind of misery and hell she's putting on these innocent people. She does not care what she's putting on their families. She just doesn't care because she's an evil human being. She's just evil. She just wants to stir the pot and she's going to lick the spoon, right? You stir the pot, you're going to lick the spoon. All evil people end up licking the spoon. And she is no exception. She's no exception to that rule. I don't know. I have no idea what her issues are. I don't know. I don't care. But I do care about these people, these innocent humans. And whoever those people are, whether they're Fred's parents or somebody else out there that's totally innocent in all of this, like the rest, they're not me. I can't say it enough, you know. And Ziggy, she's threatening people up, and she better watch it. She better watch it, because all it's going to take, because literally, she was on her computer last night stalking whoever this person was and their whole entire family. She was like going through showing all these people. Like, she was showing down the generations, right? She was showing down the generations. Now, that's a serious charge. It's a serious charge when you're looking people up, in order to, Ziggy wasn't, looking these people up for any other reason than malice reasons. And she was looking to get other people to go real life on these, these humans that she produces out here that are innocent bystanders to all of this. She's very evil. She's very evil. And I hope, and I pray, if it ain't like Fred's mom and dad and, old pictures of Fred's family or something, if it really is someone that truly exists in this, innocent person truly existing, well, I pray the same way I prayed for all the rest. I pray in the name of Jesus Christ that, nothing happens to them, that, I'm sure somehow word will get to them. I try to contact, as many as I could there for a long time. But, one day God just told me, PG, this is not your evilness, it's theirs. You're not responsible for what they do. Right? I can't exhaust myself, trying to do so much every time these people do something as evil as this to an innocent family. It's wrong. Absolutely wrong. But it takes a lot out of us, when we're working a job, we're taking care of a family, we're spending time, helping to try to get all the answers for missing kids. It's a lot. It's a lot. You're right. It's a lot just taking care of kids and running a household. Throw a job on top of that. And then, this here and other volunteer work. And it can be totally and utterly overwhelming sometimes. And you have to keep reminding yourself it's all for a good cause. Stay busy. Keep doing it. It's all for a good cause. And I truly believe that. And it's what, it's what motivates me to continue. I was really super tired, like I said, and I'm not lying. I'm super tired today. I've been burning the candle at both ends. It's catching up. But I still came out here tonight. Because I could not go to bed. I could not go to sleep knowing that some innocent family has been exposed out here and possibly going to get, some real life put on them that don't deserve it. And I had to come out here and I had to clear these people's names. And you know, I shouldn't have to do that because evil Ziggy shouldn't have been sitting around last night, you know, looking up innocent humans trying to act like they're PG, like she knows something when she don't know shit. She needs to stop it. I'm going to tell you now, I believe she said that woman was like 70 years old. What 70-year-old woman could do what PG has done? You tell me what 70-year-old woman could be out here as much as PG's out here consecutively for over 4 years, running like I've been running. I even run Summer's Facebook as well. And as you all know, you get happy birthdays. When I'm running Summer's Facebook, you get happy birthdays, right? PG said, make sure that she goes in and happy birthdays, everybody. PG goes in, go take a look at any of your comments. They're liked. I always try to do my best at everything I do. And I'm going to tell you, you guys know, all of you know how tiresome all of this can be. But I do it. And no 70-year-old lady could hold up. No 70-year-old woman could hold up to all the hell and anxiety that these people have put on me over the past 4 years and so many months. It would have took the poor woman down. No doubt in my mind. So, you know, I think they might want to start looking for somebody a hell of a lot younger, but I don't think they want to. I don't think they want to, because then they would feel that they're meeting their match, right? They don't feel like they have to be worried about an old lady. They're probably hoping I am old. But I'm not. What I am is smart enough to protect my identity. That's what I'm smart enough to do. I'm smart enough to know that this place out here is a good place if it's ran right. If it's done righteously, this is a beautiful place. Helps a lot of children. God bless them all. And it can be a great tool to solve cases. But it can also be an evil cesspool, a dangerous cesspool, with all of these haters that just need a reason to hate because they dislike themselves. It ain't even about us. It's about them. It's about them. It's like an essayer. You know, the victim feels like it's about them. But it wasn't ever about the victims. It was always about the essayer. It was always about them and what they wanted. The evil always lied within them. The victim was always innocent. It had nothing to do with the victim. It was that evil person who was seeking to do harm. And they did. And they do. It's all about them. That's their sins. It's their wrongness. It's their evil that they will have to forever live with. And victims should understand that and move on. Not let that person have another second, take another second away from them. Leave them there, wallowing in their evilness. And it's the same way out here. All of these people that they've been saying is PG, none of them is. This is all innocent people, but these evil people want to explore and stalk and cause innocent humans a lot of hell and anxiety. They don't care how it affects that person's mental health, physical health, or anything else. They can't feel for no one else. Ziggy can't feel for anyone else. She's too busy feeling for herself. She's an all take and no fucking give. Like I said, she's evil. She likes to play with her woo-woo cards, right? She likes to play with her woo-woo cards. I'm going to tell you something. I don't even want to watch people. I don't want Ziggy in my presence. I don't want her in my presence. I think it's a sin having her in my presence, to be honest with you. I know what she is, how she is, and who she is. And I don't want her in my presence. I'm a godly human being. And we are not supposed to indulge with, in, or around any type of evilness like that. And I don't. When I first met Ziggy, she asked me about doing some evil things. I told her no. The same way with Jinkies. Behind the scenes, Jinkies asked me about doing some evil stuff. I said no. And people don't like you when you're not willing to be evil. Evil people do not like you. They like to find people who will do their evil bidding. I'm going to tell you, I'm not a demon. I'm not going to be doing nobody's evil biddings. I don't do evil. And I'll tell you what, if I did, well, I'd do it on my damn own. Why in the hell let somebody else profit off of what's going to put me in hell? Do I really look that fucking stupid? Right? If I'm going to hell, baby, I'm going to freaking reap everything for myself before I get there. Just saying. I'm not a follower. I'm a leader. And I try to lead people to the righteous path. I don't try to lead them down that big, wide road going to Hades. I try to lead people on that narrow road, that narrow path that is very, very few is on. And I want it to be packed and jammed. I want all people on it. I want everybody in heaven. I even want Fred and Ziggy in heaven. I want them in heaven too. I want them to find God. I want them to find Jesus Christ. I want them to find God. I want them to get saved and baptized. I want them to know what it's like to live a beautiful life. I want us all to be in the same place. Hell, I want Don and Candace in heaven. I want Grandis in heaven. I want all of these people in heaven. Just like Jesus. Jesus wants us all in heaven too. He wouldn't have died on that cross. He died for everybody, including the evil people. He died for us all so that we all through him can find God and be one in heaven. Right? We could all be together. I hope, I hope and I pray that everybody gets there. And that's the truth. That's the truth. That's what sets me aside from them. I ain't out here lying about nothing. I just want Summer Moon Utah Wells found. I just want her found. Would I like to see justice? Well, yes. Yes, I like to see justice served on earth. Because I know justice. I know that Summer's going to get justice no matter what. I know she is. But I'm going to tell you, God's justice is a lot harder than a court system. Like a court system, yeah, they can put you in jail for a while. But I'm going to tell you, hell's for eternity. When you go to Hades, it's for eternity. They ain't no getting out ever. Ever. But I'm not worried about justice. Because I know if Summer don't get justice here, she'll get it later. But I do want her found. I want Summer found. I want Summer found. And I want that little baby laid to rest properly. I want her found because I feel she paid the price for her brothers to have a better life. And I don't think they can fully have the life Summer wanted for them until she's found and they know the truth about what happened. Those boys need closure, and they deserve to live the life that this little girl paid the price for them to live. And that's what I'm working for. That's what I'm working for. I'm Summer's voice because I know she wants her brothers to know the truth so they won't live thinking they were the reason she got going. God bless those boys. God bless us all. God bless little Summer Moon Utah Wells. God bless that little angel that came here for a short while and put so much good in this world. And she's still putting good. That little girl was all love and she was all light. And her light's still shining. And we need to find it. We need to find her. That's all I want. That's all I'm out here for. Nothing more, nothing less. And I can't say that. I can't say that for Ziggy. I can't say that for Day Day or her sister. I can't say that for these other people who are clearly out here for the money. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. And I'm going to tell you, when Summer's found and this channel is gone, you won't ever find another one like this one again. You won't ever find another channel that says if you need it, keep it. You ain't going to find another channel that doesn't sit there and ask, support, 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 send me some DoorDash, do this, do that. You're not going to ever find another channel that works as hard as this channel worked to get all the answers for these missing kids. And you're not going to get a channel that puts out all the truth with receipts right out the horse's damn mouths. You ain't going to get that again. And that's the truth. What you will get is people saying whatever they think will excite you to get you in there and loosen your purse strings. To keep them going in this life. Well, I'm going to tell you what, they need to get a fucking job. They need to get a job and pay their own damn bills and stop relying on chats to pay all their bills for them. That's my opinion. I'm going to keep it. Just saying. And there ain't nobody, there ain't one person in the YouTube community, not one person, that doesn't know that this channel here doesn't make shit. Everybody knows this channel doesn't make enough to even keep it going. Everybody knows it. It's no secret. But I'm going to tell you what, God's kept it going because he's the one that put it together. I don't even do this stuff. I don't even do this. But I have been like a mailman out here. I have been out here through rain, sleet, snow, the hot summertime, and everything else. I have been out here delivering from day one, faithful as I could be to these missing kids. And I'm going to continue until this little girl is found. And I don't think it's going to be much longer. I don't think it's going to be much longer. I think as soon as they get over there and check that gravesite, Summer's going to be found. That's my opinion. And I think it's about to be looked into. And Summer's case will be done. And PG will be gone. So Fred Hill, if you want PG gone, if you want me to stop talking and putting your truth out here, and that's what it is. It came right out of your own mouth. How could it not be your truth when it came straight from you? But if you don't want me out here, let that little girl be found. Let her be found. Somehow, some way, let her be found. And I'll gladly leave. You hear me, Dom Wells? You hear me, Can? Do you freaking hear me, Jody, Sue, and Andy? Do you mother freaking suspects surrounding this baby's case hear what I'm saying? You want me to leave? I will. As soon as Summer is found. I don't care if justice is served or not. It's going to get served. It's going to get served by God Almighty anyway. But I want her found for her brother's sake. They deserve that. And you guys owe it to them. You owe it to them. So speak up and let that baby be found. And I'll say, Salavita. See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. Go screw yourself. I'll be gone. Right? There you go. There you go. But until she is, I'm going to be out here And I'm going to be bringing all of your all shit with me. There you go. Trust and believe that. All right, everybody. Keep the prayers going up for Summer Moon, Utah Wells. Keep them going up. Because I'm going to tell you, it's going to take God. It's going to take God Almighty and His Son, Jesus Christ, to solve this one. But I know when you pray through Jesus, God listens. And if we keep praying, God's going to answer. He's going to answer. God knows where Summer is, and God can let her be found. And I truly believe He will. So keep those prayers going up in the name of Jesus Christ. And continue to keep praying for Michael Vaughn, Sebastian Rogers, Jack and Lily, and little baby Emmanuel. They all need to be found too. I'm going to tell you, don't support evil. Evil is destroying the future. They are destroying, they're putting ripples in our future. They're taking away innocent children that were supposed to be here, fulfilling a destiny that God had planned. But little Summer, she had to fulfill a destiny too soon for her brothers that should not have had to been fulfilled. I'm sure that God had greater things planned for Summer, but she didn't make it there because of evil. Evil gets in the way of so much. And I'm going to tell you now, don't be afraid to stand up to it. Don't be afraid to stand up to it, because I'm going to tell you, like these children, it will destroy you too. If it thinks it can overpower you the way it does children and old people, it'll try to get you too. You better learn to stand up to it. You better learn to put it in its place. Because there is no room in this world for it. Open your doors, straighten your back, and go out there and let evil know that it ain't going to run you. You're going to be running it. Good night, everybody. God bless. Much love.